Today I have a double whammy, two games I enjoyed, so I want to share. Especially this first one, it's a Fletcher game, Tier 9 American Destroyer. I was about to say Cruiser for some reason. Um, what else to say about the Fletcher? It's a tried and true classic, one of the first lines in the game. This is good matchmaking for me. Sure, it's an up tier, but against other there are no radars, and I have better concealment than all of the other destroyers around. Neptune might have radar, but it's rare for them to do so. So I'm probably only dealing with one tier 8 radar, which is really good. Our team does have a radar, but usually your team having a radar, unless you're in a division with them, it doesn't really mean much. Because you can never control when, where, what they will do. So, yeah. And eyes on that Shima. That Shima is a rare good Shima player. It's kinda crazy to say. But anyways, I spawned by A, so I go to the A cap. I could have gone wide over here, but honestly, as a Fletcher, first I was expecting the Shima to do that because Shima players. And second, as a Fletcher, I'm more of a dogfighter, so to speak. So I really don't want to go wide and do things that way. My build is a hybrid build. It's not complete, I only have 12 points. It's an Ovechkin captain, and mostly I have the classics. I should have preempted maintenance, but I have priority target for some reason. I don't know why. It's a very old build. I should respect it at one point. Last stand, survivability expert, concealment expert. Whoa, watch out! I'm revolutionizing World of Warships here. I was planning on throwing torpedoes down that alley, but with the Shima around there, I didn't want to do it. So instead I decided to torp in that direction, which I know usually ships will do this. So I just torp in that direction, and if I catch something, I catch something. If not, I just annoy people. Shima spot the Benham. I instantly start shooting him because it's a destroyer. I want him dead. And I just those torpedoes were thrown at RPF, and they were widespread. So yeah, not an issue. What will be an issue, spoiler alert, is this. I don't know why I mount defensive AA. I guess I don't know. I got emotional and wanted to try it because it doesn't do much, honestly. And speed boost is better, in my opinion, because as a general rule, I only have my AA on when I'm with other ships. So yeah, that doesn't matter. I see an opportunity to DPM the Kremlin, or rather to annoy the Kremlin, not DPM. DPM is not the right word for what damage I do. So I start shooting, but I get detected, which tells me the Benham is out of smoke. So I pop mine, confident in that the Shima will spot him, and basically start shooting him. If you question why I start going forward and reversing, it's because as a destroyer I usually throw torpedoes in front of the destroyer because your gut reaction is usually to go forward instead of backwards. So that's why when I dodge torpedoes, I usually dodge them backwards while angling towards the threat. Once again, these are torpedoes meant to catch whoever is doing this crossing. In this case, Arun and a Neptune, but they were too late. And I'm just throwing them because I have them. I'm not expecting to hit anything. You can control the camera for a bit here, and I won't throw them over there because it's unlikely the Frederick de Rosa will go there, and all I will do will hit an island. So there is not much to say about what I'm doing right now, just using my smoke to shoot at things, hopefully set some fires, while keeping an eye on the developing situation. That's something I picked up from I don't know who, but it's a very good thing to do, which is just to shoot, especially with these high rate of fire guns, low damage. You shoot and you hold right click and look around. You you do that so that you can continually keep shooting and hitting whatever you want to hit, but don't lose situational awareness, which is something very important to keep. And here, this is a mistake what I'm doing right now, because I want to torpedo exactly that area, and my torpedoes are not ready, and I'm hanging around, and I know there is a Neptune, and the Benham is around, and they could push me at any time, they could completely destroy me, and I stay here. It's a bad idea. I throw some torpedoes in case the Grosek decides to do that weird thing, and the Neptune makes a mistake of firing while I'm in his smoke penalty area. So, I can shoot him with impunity, I will shoot him. I get detected by the destroyer, and I instantly pull on the speed. Here again, defensive speed boost would have helped me way more, because I could have started accelerating faster, I could have started angling faster, and would have taken less damage basically. But I didn't have speed boost, so I took more damage. It was a mistake. I hung around too long. I wasn't conscious of how long my smoke had. I basically wasn't keeping good track. What I did see though was that the Shima is now over there, because he saw this and went up to respond. Now the Thunder is bitching at us because he's getting his ass blasted, and the team is just congregating here for the Fifth International. They're trying to reestablish communism. It won't work. What will work is flooding. I flooded out the Neptune, which is lucky. I don't know why his DCP was down. Doesn't matter. He's dead. And basically I rotated around the island. I could have tried to do this, but that's very risky, because if I get caught, and this is something you always want to think about when you play any class, but especially destroyers, what happens if I get spotted here? Also, when you're crossing in front of battleships, it's very important, if you know there are destroyers around, to be careful, because there will be torpedoes going in their direction. Once again, torpedoes to the Haragumo, and I catch the Benham. He instantly smokes because he's very low, and I start blind firing because it's a Benham on basically one shot. The Shorsha fortunately was paying attention and taps him. I ask my battleships to kill the cruiser. I'm more concerned about the Cleveland that's over here with the Atago, and that's the reason why I don't go into A. If I go into A, that Cleveland spots me, I'm dead. Because although player quality in warships is a hot contently issue, you cannot assume your enemy is stupid. So I have to assume that he will at the very least know how to press T from time to time. And if I go into A, he basically just radars me, I'm dead. I have no exit, nothing. So I have no other choice but to bail from A and try to help the Shima deal with all of that. Trust is the wrong word, but basically I cannot deal with everything, so I chose to slow down the push, because these guys here will get crossfired if I let this push keep on going. The Shima got around behind them, and to be honest, it isn't particularly useful to be there. But oh well. Some predictive torpedoes on the Soyuz, assuming he will try to go here and do this, good inside to go into more engagements. And I just keep skirting around, conscious of the Takao. who I thought was a bit further behind, but not really an issue. And again, I'm in this situation. If I had speed boost, could have reacted faster. Cleveland is exactly where I expected him to be. He kinda was hoping for me to go into A, but I didn't because why would I? And torpedoes find the Soyuz. Fortunately, all I needed was one, and that's all he got. So, I'm taking stock of the situation. Most of my battleships are stuck somewhere in the middle of nowhere. The Thunder is running, and Cleveland just got slapped. Shima's capping C, and this is a thing. I have two Shamatos that I think are going to go inside B. Because keep going straight is a troubling proposition for them. So I basically torp into C, into B, and something kinda nice happens, which is a crossfire forms between the Shima and my torpedoes. I kinda don't coordinate it well enough, whatever. I'm currently pinning the Atago to that rock. He cannot move from there because I am here. But I decide to smoke up and fire at the Yamato. I was going to switch to the Musashi, but quickly went back to the Yamato because I thought he would have instantly damaged Con, but he didn't. He kinda ate the flood. So I kept firing. My only intention here is was to set a fire. Shami eats two torps, one in the ass, the other in the torpedo bulge. Best torpedo bulge in the game. Not quite long enough. It doesn't cover the aft or the bow of the ship, so if you get hit in the nose or in the ass, you're kinda hurting with Yamato. And I don't linger in my smoke. I know my smoke has like 2 minutes left still in it, but that's a thing. I knew the Takao was gonna rush me because I was the only thing pinning him there, and well, he sees smoke. He says, this is easy food. Don't linger in your smokes if you don't have to. If you don't have full stock of what's happening around you, don't linger in your smoke because you're losing situation awareness. The worst thing you can do is in a situation where you don't know where everyone is, to park and smoke because you will get radar and you will die. I throw some predictive torps expecting the Takao to run, but he's kinda focused on me. Or on running from the Thunder, and I'm in the path of his retreat. He knows I'm here, of course, because I keep him spotted. But he is looking for me. He's eyeing up the smoke. And again, after this battle, I switched to speed boost. The Hargumo is complaining that this Shorsha is outspeeding him, and I basically tell him, why are you complaining? You are basically a mini cruiser without a citadel. Though I guess he does it. Full AP pens, doesn't matter. Thunder chunks Takao well enough, so I open up my guns and start firing. I should have loaded AP, to be honest, but yeah, I should have loaded AP. There is no justification other than just should have loaded AP. We finish off the Atago, and honestly I wanted to open up way sooner, but I cannot win first I couldn't win with light health, and second I couldn't. It's an Atago. He basically blabs me for all my life in 2 hits, so I throw preemptive torps at the Shami sorry, at the Musashi, because I think the Musashi will do this because he has a Shima on his ass, so he's not turning around left or right. If I were in that Musashi's shoes, I will take my chances with the Thunder than the Musashi, than the Shima. And I start firing in open water because the game is over. There is no way I can think of we lose this. And I just, why not? Shima just completely slaps the Musa. And I'm fairly confident that my torpedoes will reach. And this is another situation where speed boost is better, because I could have launched those if I had speed boost. I sit in fire and my torpedoes run out. I didn't think I didn't have the range. I wasn't prepared to deal with the situation of him still being alive at this point, which was an issue for me. I keep trying to speed you, but sadly I don't have the speed for it. If I wanted to survive, I would have popped smoke, but it was kind of a waste, so it's whatever. I don't mind it. We burn him out. And what's left is this, which is a Harugumo between two battleships and an Italian ship. He's not winning that one. Unless he somehow detonates the Amalfi and manages some godly torpedoes on the Iowa and the Gearing and the Shorsha. So, yeah. This is one already. And yeah, Shima captures the remaining base, and Haragumo comes out because he literally doesn't have anything anything better to do and gets blapped by the Amalfi. And that's the endgame. And I did promise too, so now for the second one. The second one is the Dunkerque game. Dunkerque shipped dear to me because I just like the way she looks. She's a tier 6, a tier I often play when I don't want to think too much about shit. I play tier 6 because it's not seal clubbing well, at least not in my eyes. And to be honest, I'm not a good enough player to seal club. It's not seal clubbing because you see a lot of 8s, you see a lot of 7s. You sometimes do see 5s, which at that point it kinda is seal clubbing. But basically 6 is low tier for me. It's a place of relaxation. And to be honest, Matchmaker has been really, really kind to me on this one. We are mid tier. It's a 5 to 7 game, and there is only one battleship that can overmatch me here, which is the Bayern. So that's great matchmaking because Dunkirk has 25mm everywhere, which means she gets overmatched to hell and back. For example, I can be showing this to the enemy. The enemy hits me here, he will get full penetrations if they have guns higher than 380mm. And at this point, a lot of ships have. The Shermans have them, the Russians, I don't know if a tier 6 have them. Every tier 7 overmatches you, and above of course. And a bunch of tier 6s overmatch you too. Let's see, Bayern, Queen Elizabeth, Warspite. Those three, you will see those three a lot. Doesn't matter. Bottom line is, she's a squishy ship. A beautiful ship, but a squishy ship. And her guns are kinda trolly. They have a awful dispersion. But it doesn't matter. She's a fun ship to play. And here I am very concerned at this point because The Mayhem is doing something. I don't know what. He's doing something. I wanted to sneak a shot there, but not happening. I get spotted, and I instantly know it has to be a destroyer, and he has to be around there, because I don't think I have line of sight to anything here. And the carrier with the pass they didn't reveal anything. Again, I'm trying to sneak shots over the islands. Waiting, and fire. And we confirm it's the mass. Also, only 2 destroyers. It's the mass. He just popped smoke. And at this point, I'm just realizing that my main hand won't do anything, because he's just half speeding up to the cap, just chugging along leisurely into D. So I decide to park beside this island. And the mass gets spotted to the right. I guess he was trying to do a flanking sort of thing. Of course, Mayhem, as all good destroyers do, instantly smokes and hides in there. Because what's DPM? And now I'm in what professionals will call an awkward situation. Honestly, mass torpedoes, Sherman torpedoes in general, you can take them. No big deal. They don't do a lot of damage. We take none, but still. Sadly, I missed because Richelieu sometimes. Richelieu is a temperamental ship. Sorry, Dunkerque is a temperamental ship. Sometimes she will help you, sometimes she won't. I'm trying to have a shot at this shore, trying to work the angles. The island is not quite cooperating. I see a Shan horse. He's giving me decent angle, honestly. So at this point I'm just taking shots of opportunity at whatever I can, because I need to get my guns firing. I bounce everything, but I get my guns firing. I basically see what the Mayhem is doing, I confirm what the Mayhem is doing. I know he won't do anything. I was kinda expecting him to push forward and do things. I've been asked if he knows that the mass has hydro, because for everyone out there, German destroyers above tier 6 get hydro. A 5 km hydro, sure, it's not much, but they can rush you. So the last thing you want to do is smoke close to them, because they will hydro you, they will kill you, and that's it. And they can do that within their smoke. So you guys should be really careful about what you do with it. I mean, sure, Sherman destroyers are not great, but they're still dangerous. Especially if you don't know what they're able to do. And this math, this completely took me by surprise. I see them as a battleship you should aim at destroyers. Even if you don't have HE loaded, you will do lots of damage. Not in this case though, because I aim like shit, because he slows down. Which I wasn't expecting him to, but he does, so I miss. Carrier is doing a good job of chunking him, basically making him regret choosing the class, as you know carriers do. Look here. You see that? That's perfect dispersion. You know what happened there? A game mechanic happened. I overpenetrated his citadel. That is really infuriating, because that Montecuccoli should be dead. He completely should have been erased from the game. But instead, he gets to survive, and I'm just caught in the middle of nowhere with my pants down. I get set on double fire by the mass. I choose to repair that, after going dark. My hope here is to get to those islands to the front before getting spotted again, which sadly doesn't happen because Bunyodny has a spotter up. Montecuccoli gets spotted, aim at his ass. Guns behave reasonably well. One more penetration and I would have killed him, but whatever, he's dead. Mas gets the fire RNG of his life, honestly, because one shell, one fire, whoa, that's crazy. And here, the Omaha is making a big mistake. You know what he's doing? He's not using his guns. You never go for torpedoes against destroyers. It's just a waste of time more often than not. You should prioritize using your guns, and in between reloads, sure, throw your torpedoes, but wait for the reload. You don't open with torpedoes because you will rarely hit, and that's time the other destroyer is DPMing you down. As happened to that Omaha. If that Omaha had started firing HE from moment 1, he would have won. I don't think he would have survived because he was in a precarious position, but he would have won against the mass. But he didn't, because he, like so many others, concentrates too much on torpedoes. As a cruiser, torpedoes are an aid. Torpedoes are something you plan for. You don't panic torpedo. It rarely helps. You see me paying attention to the Bunyodny while working on the Scharnhorst because I know that Bunyodny wants to rush me. I know, I can see it in his eyes. I looked at his eyes, into his soul, and I know that he wants to rush me. But he isn't quite committing to it yet, so I just keep shooting at the Scharnhorst. The carrier, thankfully, is helping me, and he's working down the Bunyodny or spotting him, which makes him reluctant, gives me time to prepare. But when he starts turning right, I know he committed. So I save my shots, aim my turrets, and wait for the Bunyodny. Here it doesn't show, but the telegraph is full forward. Bunyodny eats a citadel because he should be punished, honestly. This is quite a suicidal rush. And I have no other option here but to push forward. I cannot wait for another shot, because if I wait for another shot, I get torped to death. And that's not particularly helpful. I repair because I'm not under threat of burning again. I mean, sure, Bunyodny can just keep going forward, torpedo me and kill me, but he's really low, so I doubt he will do that. He will have to be exposed for a very, very long time, because he has to go up until here or so to torpedo me, and I'm putting up speed, and he knows that, so he knows I'm getting away. Those torpedoes are not happening. Best he can do is try to gun me down, but it's unlikely to happen. I'm too healthy. I asked the CV to deal with the Bunyodny, basically, because I don't want to deal with him. And honestly, the CV cooperates. He sees an easy kill and he goes for it as he should, you know. If you see a kill that can be had, go for it. Like I don't. As a carrier, kill securing is kind of one of your main jobs too. Here you will see me wait. You know why I'm waiting? Because I know I have horrible horizontal dispersion. So I'm waiting for the Indianapolis to either go more broadside or to do something stupid. Because if I shoot when he's bowing, I will miss. And he will go full broadside and get away with it. And then here the Indianapolis did something stupid. He stopped. You do not stop in front of in front of a battleship that can overmatch you. Like, that's not a good idea. Unless you have the range and you can speed duke. At these ranges, no. Especially not in a fat ship like Indianapolis. And I don't know why he's firing AP at me. I'm perfectly bound to him. He's not gonna get any penetrations. Well, any meaningful damage anyway. I see once again the Omaha, and I try one of my trademark clutch shots in between the rocks. And here my main idea, I know the mass is in front of me, and I know now that he's really low. And I want to bait the mass into rushing me. So I want him to know I'm here. I want him to know that there's a big, stupid battleship herpaderping down this path, like, oh, I'm a big battleship. And I want him to try and rush me. That's why I make a show of coming this way. Well, as much as the show can be made, right? We did get a cheeky citadel on the Omaha, which is always nice. Team is not doing too well, because they kinda did... They basically gather here and follow the Mechan all around. Mas tries to rush me, I catch him, he's dead. I know they're tops, but there ain't much I can do about it, so I kinda just stick to a no-sim profile. But here the Indianapolis goes, "Get down, Mr. President!" and saves me from the torps, which I don't know if they would have hit, but whatever. It's funny anyways. I secured the Omaha, which with a really high damage hit for getting hit. That's not something you see every day. And I proceed to go and take C, because there ain't much else for me to do. I don't trust the Mayhem. I basically, at this point, I assume I'm playing as if the Mayhem is dead, and the Fuso is gone in the middle of nowhere. I don't think he will do anything useful. I complimented the CV for basically helping me in that situation. I feel like the CV has good situational awareness, so I complimented him. Someone asked for the help for the Mayhem, and basically I say what I think, that the Mayhem cannot be helped because he doesn't understand how to play, and he's in a really bad spot. Trying to help the Mayhem at this point is a waste of resources. You're just gonna hinder the team if you try to help the Mayhem. Iron Duke? Guess what? What I can do to the Iron Duke? Yes, I can overmatch him. So that's a nice slap through the nose. You see me turning to the right because I don't want the Iron Duke to try and ram me. So I turn to the right to put distance between us. And I kinda turn into him to keep an angle. I don't know if I didn't... No, yeah, this is a replay bug. It's not showing, but my secondaries are focused on him. Not that it matters because it's not a secondary build, but something to keep in mind of. I keep aiming for the nose. And here I'm getting really nervous because if that Iron Duke gets the ram, I'm really fucked. But Goricia, or Gordita, which, funny enough, Gordita means little fat lady in Spanish, just helps me and finishes off the Iron Duke. I don't know why the Goricia is following me. I haven't done anything particularly smart. Whatever, he likes following me. I guess he went to respond to the threat at sea also. And I see a CV, and basically it's a CV. You have to go for the CV. You have to kill the CV. You cannot not kill the CV. But that doesn't mean I'm completely blind. The main issue here is not the CV, it's the York. which gets chunked down by the Fuso quite nicely. I and those weren't the gunsmiths behaving, that was me aiming badly. I aimed too high. And I basically want that York down, that shark dead as quickly as possible, because he has DPM, the CV doesn't. But I cannot shoot at the York, so I shoot at the Ryusho. I aim poorly, I aim too far ahead and too high. York gives me another shot, so I focus on the York. Because although this York is only shooting AP at me, he could be shooting HE and doing more damage by setting fires and helping the carrier deal damage over time to me. But once again, I lose the shot on the York, so I focus Ryusho. I'm aiming too high still. Nothing but overpens because I aim too high. The thing with how Dunkerque guns work, I'm usually reluctant to aim underwater, to aim waterline, sorry, because they usually disappoint. So I try to go for the securing shot rather than the. And New Mexico dies, and that's game. Anyway, that was it for me. That double whammy. Hope you liked it.